she talked to this jinn. She said, okay, listen, I have one condition. If you can fulfill this condition, if you really can do that, I will marry you. Now, Jinn was looking for this moment, and he said, okay, I can do that. I'm a jinn. I'm powerful. And I can do so many things. I can do so many wondrous things. She said, okay, listen, this is my third time to appear in the examination. I have already failed multiple times in English and in the mathematics. If you can appear in my face as me in the classroom and do the examination of English and mathematics and pass the exam, I'll marry you. Mr. Jinn, he studied very hard. He learned the grammar in 2 months, and he became weaker and weaker and weaker. And he said that, look, I don't feel I'm a jinn anymore. The task you have given me, I really want to give up. But I also love you. I cannot give up all these things. I really must win your heart. What is today's story about? It's a ghost story. It's a horror. And at the same time, it's very extremely entertaining. And it's amusing. It will put a smile on your face. And maybe you will laugh. So let's directly jump into today's story. I'm your host, Sujat Sipra, and welcome to another episode on the shocking mystery on the mirror. (1980s). As this is a ghost story, before on my channel, I've explained maybe 1 or 2 times about the creation of human being, how God created human being, and how God created jinns, demons, angels. So I want to go a little bit more further to make a ground to understand today's story. As I mentioned, humans are created by sounding clay from the different portion of the world, from the different lands. Some of the clay was collected from the land which is very cold, from the land which is very hot, from the land which is impossible to cultivate, from the land which has all the seasons. So eventually it was mixed up. It was a mixture of few elements: air, fire, and clay. So when mankind was created, it has, because of these different parts of the lands, the clay, it has all the moods. Sometimes we suddenly become very happy, very sad, aggressive, angry, surprised, and we change the mood because of these elements. On the other hand, jinns, they are created with different kinds of fires. Some jinns, they are created by the smokeless fire. Some are created with the flameless fire, just like God mentioned in Quran. One of the chapter is called merciful, the most merciful, Rahman. God's words about human being and the jinns are خَلَقَ الْإِنسَانَ مِنْ صَلْصَالٍ كَالْفَخَّارِ وَخَلَقَ الْجَانَّ مِنْ مَارِجٍ مِنْ نَارٍ. God, he created man from the sounding clay, which can create a sound like a pottery clay. And jinns, he created with smokeless or flameless fire. Now, as you know, everybody knows, fire is aggressive, is hot. So as this nature is already aggressive, so jinns, they are powerful. They are very aggressive. But at the same time, there's a difference between human being and the jinns. What is the main difference is, number one, these elements. Jinns are created with the smokeless or flameless fire, and the human being is a mixture of different elements. Human being, the average life meter is like 60 to 100, but jinns, their life is like thousands of years. Like one jinn can live for few thousands, 3 to 4 to 5,000 years. So it means we still have those jinns. We believe they have personally witnessed Prophet Jesus, peace be upon him, and also Prophet Muhammad, peace be upon him. Another difference is, if one jinn is about 700 years old, his brain, compared to the human being, 700 years old jinn's brain should be about 7 or 8 years old child. So this is the difference. So you can imagine, if 700 years old jinn he is carrying a brain of a child, so what he can do. The majority of people among us, they know them very scary things, very powerful. Even though if you are very much powerful, but if you know you will be resurrected, you will stay in control. Even though you have a power, you know you can do so many destructive things. You can harm others because of you're very powerful, but you're in control. So this is the beauty of faith. I want to put one more thing, the difference between animals and human beings and the jinns. Animals, when they come in this world, they are just like fed software. It means that if one small chicken is coming out from eggshell for the first time, and right away when it comes out, sees the cat, it will try to save himself from the cat. So this is like a software of the animal. But human beings and the jinns, they are different. If human being child, when opens the eyes, if you put one human being in front of the lion, he will not do anything. He doesn't know how to protect himself from the lion. So that is why human beings and the jinns, they learn from their surroundings. This is why God sent those books and the scriptures for the mankind and for the jinns. From Gospel, Torah, Bible, and Quran. These books were sent for the mankind and for the jinns, because heaven and hell, they are created for these creatures. So this is the whole thing. Now, as I clear this ground, let's dive into today's very interesting and entertaining story. We educate people, and one of our madrasa was specified for the girls. Now, one of the jinn, he was also studying in that madrasa, and he fell in love with a girl. Now, this is a very true story. It will make you smile or even maybe laugh. He fell in love with a human girl, of course, a girl. Now, this jinn is like a 700 or 800 years old. This jinn is in love with one of the girls who is studying in this madrasa. Now, he is thinking how to express his love to this girl, and he's been thinking over and over again, and then finally he decides to come out in a human shape to express his love to this girl. Now, once in a week, or they have a schedule in the madrasas, they can go out in the market to buy things and go back to a madrasa or hostels and live there. When she is going out for the shopping, this jinn decided to appear in a man face in front of her, and he said, "Hey, I want to talk to you." She was creeped out. "Who the hell are you? And you're scaring me. Who are you?" And he says that, "Okay, you don't know me, I know you a lot. I am here to tell you something." She said, "First of all, you tell me who you are, otherwise I'm going to report to the police." He said, No, you don't have to report to the police, and I am from the madrasa. "Are you from the management or what?" He says, "No, I'm not from the management. I'm also a student in the madrasa." "No, this is not possible. This is for the girls. Men do not study here. They have a different different campus. There are the campus for the boys. They are different than girls. There's no any co-education here. How do you learn from here?" He said, "Well, if I tell you, I'm afraid you'll be scared. I don't want to scare you. Now she is already scared. She said, okay, if you're not telling me, or if you keep bothering me, I'm going to report to the police. He said, okay, I'm going to tell you, but please promise, don't be freaked out. And now she's already kind of freaking out. He said, I am a Jinn, and I am studying in the same madrasa you are, and I see you every day. I'm in love with you, and I want to marry you. Now, this is a very weird situation. As you know, jinns and humans, they can marry. I'm going to report the principal. What's your name? He tells her name. I actually forgot the exact name. Maybe Yusuf, something like that. I'm Yusuf, and I'm actually really in love with you, and I want to marry you. If you are not coming in my life, I will die without you. Now, this is Mr. Romeo. She found Mr. Romeo not as a human, as a jinn. She doesn't know how to answer. She says, go away. You're scaring me. And he leaves. But she already knew he is jinn, because where he met the girl, when nobody was there, who he disappeared or reappeared to make her believe that he is a jinn. Our institute also encouraged the girls to have other studies like mathematics, like having all the syllabus, and to have better jobs in the society when they go out. So she was doing the matriculation. In the matriculation, there were 2 subjects. She was very weak, and this was the 3rd time she was going to appear in the examination, and she was so scared, and she already decided if she is not going to pass English class or mathematics, she is gonna quit and fully focus in the Islamic Studies, and then get a job in the Islamic University as a teacher, teach the students about Islam. This was her plan. But she was very beautiful. That's why that jinn, that Yusuf jinn, he was in love with this girl. On the same time, this girl was very clever. He used to talk to her in different ways to make her believe that he really loves her. And this is now already 1 or 2 months already passed. And she is confused. She is also scared how to inform her parents or her friends about this situation she is going through. Just an idea popped up in her mind. She talked to this jinn. She said, okay, listen, I have one condition. If you can fulfill this condition, if you really can do that, I will marry you. Now, Jinn was looking for this moment, and he said, okay, I can do that. You know, I'm a jinn. I'm powerful, and I can do so many things. I can do so many wondrous things. She said, okay, listen, this is my third time to appear in the examination. I have already failed multiple times in English and in the mathematics. If you can appear in my face as me in the classroom and do the examination of English and mathematics and pass the exam, I'll marry you. Now remember, he is like 700, 800 years old jinn. It's like having a child brain in his head. And I ask you, if you ask a child, 7 or 8 years old child, to learn about the matriculation syllabus, to study about the mathematics or English language, it will be a nightmare for him to learn everything without having the basic knowledge of English or grammar or mathematics. Now this jinn was really truly in love with this girl, and he really wanted to win her heart. So he said, okay, I'll do that. I can do that. Now she gave this jinn this job. He must pass the examination. And the problem is only 2 months are left. Now jinns, they are very fast. They can travel with the speed of light. And then just like one of the cousin, he had one jinn, his friend, and when he got engaged, he was living in one of the city in Pakistan, and fiance, she was living almost 500 to 600 kilometers of distance. And he used to ask him, hey, can you check what my fiance is doing right now? And in a blink of an eye, he can travel and come back. Oh, she is busy in the kitchen. Okay, she is busy in the kitchen. Okay, great. So this was very fun. We had a lot of fun having these kind of activities. Now back to the story. This girl has already given this task to pass the examination. If you pass, then I will marry you. Now this jinn is determined how to pass the English class or English exams or mathematics. When he started, he was also already having a very small brain, and he's becoming crazy. On one time he said, look, I am sacrificing myself. I was here to learn about Islam or Quran. Because of you, I already left those things on the side for a while, because to having you win your heart, I am learning this, and this is driving me crazy. I don't know how to do this. The girl was clever, and girl said, okay, you must do that. Otherwise, remember, you cannot win me. You can have me in your life. And Jinn was determined to have her in his life. He sucked all of his blood from his brain to learn about the mathematics, to learn about the English language, and then the grammar. He learned the grammar in 2 months, and he became weaker and weaker and weaker. And he said that, look, I don't feel I'm a jinn anymore. The task you have given me, I really want to give up, but I also love you. I cannot give up all these things. Oh my God, I really must win your heart. So the time came, he appeared in the examination, and guess what? He did the examination. He appeared in her face, in her body. He went to the examination. He did everything, and when the result came, guess what? She got A++. Oh my God, she passed. And this was the moment he was looking for. Oh my God, I have already done my job successfully. Now this is the time of the truth. I'm gonna have you in my life. Now girl was very scared at this moment. Oh my God, what is going to happen with me now? I'm gonna marry with this jinn, and what is my future? I'm very scared. As a human being, no matter what. And then she said, okay, I give you another job. So she was very clever, and as a man, one man husband can handle even one wife. So this jinn is encountering a woman who is already very clever. Now she said, okay, I am ready to marry you, but there is one thing you're forgetting. He said, what? And she said, you need to talk to your parents. This was a challenge for this jinn, to talk to his parents to make them agree to marry Yasmeen. Okay, Jasmine, she asked him, you have to talk to your parents, or you love me to death, and you want to marry me, and I'll be okay. She knew in her heart, she was very clever, she knew in her heart, his parents gonna reject. He was very happy. He was just in heaven. He said, oh my God, this time has come. I'm gonna get you. When he talked to his parents, the first thing they did, the jinn's parents beat him up. They beat him up so badly, and he was so disappointed. And they said that, are you gonna marry with a human? Do you see the human children will play in our house? This is not possible. He was crying. He was so disappointed. And on the other hand, he was deeply in love with this girl. He said, okay, I'm gonna work hard on my parents. They will end of the road, they will be agreed. She said, okay, you can work on it. When they are agreed, let me know, then I will tell my parents, and your parents can talk to my parents, and if everything goes well, I'm agreed, I'll marry you. Now he said to his parents, okay, if you're not letting me marry with this Yasmeen, I'm gonna die, I'm gonna finish myself. Now those Jinn's parents, they love him very, very much. They said, okay, we'll let you try this. We need to talk one more person. And he said, no, what? No, who? He said, you're forgetting, you're studying in this madrasa, this institute. We need to talk to your teacher. He said, I never appear in the front of my teacher. They never know I'm here, I'm existing. He said, no, you must talk to your teacher. His parents also knew that if we divert his attention to his teacher, even he never met the teacher, then they knew their reaction. So he said, okay. He talked to the girl, Yasmeen. He said, can you talk to the principal? Girl said, okay, I take this courage to talk to the principal. So Yasmeen, she really took this courage. She went to the principal and said that, okay, I want to talk to you something very important. The principal, she said, what do you want to talk about it? She said, I have a problem. What problem do you have? She said, there is a Jinn who is in love with me. I have nothing to do with this. I swear to God, I have nothing to do with this. And she understood. She said, obviously, how can she see a Jinn herself unless a Jinn can reveal himself to any human being and let him see them? Then we can have this ability to see them. She said, okay, I understand. We have this problem now in this institute. Tell me about it. She said, okay, I was going to the market. He came in front of me. He's Yusuf and he's learning Quran here. First thing, the principal was mad. This is a girls' institution. What the hell is doing in the girls' institution? If he wants to learn about Islam, he should go to the boys' campus. Okay, then what? And he told everything about Yusuf. She said, okay. So this principal consulted with my uncle and my cousin who used to do the exorcisms. Now 3-4 people, they are having a meeting. What to do now about this Jinn Yusuf? He is about 700 to 800 years old, and he is carrying this brain, child brain, and he's madly in love with this. And she was so scared, but when she told the principal that, okay, there is another one problem. What is that? I actually asked him to, you were very surprised. How did I get the marks? And she busted in the laugh. And she said, okay, I understand. What did you do? You asked him to appear in your shape, in your appearance, go to the examination, pass the examination. I got it. But okay, because I guess your intention was to get rid of him because he's carrying a brainchild and he cannot pass the examination. So eventually you did, but he became very intelligent. He became very smart. He can pass the examination. Well, what we can do, they set a meeting with my cousin and with my uncles, and then they thought, okay, there's one solution. If he really loves her, if he really wants to marry her, there is one more thing. We need to ask we call wali. Wali means father or brother of the girl, who must be there, who must be agreed with this relation, with this marriage. Without this, she cannot marry. This is very important. They want to trigger this knob to make this impossible. And what is that? This is the time to talk to girl's parent, Yasmeen's parents. Jasmine's parents, they have no idea what's going on and why they are being called to this institution. When they called Jasmine's parents, and Jasmine's parents came and they told them everything. Look, your daughter is in trouble. Your daughter is in trouble. There's a jinn. He wants to marry your daughter. And they were in shock. How did this happen? And why it happened? They said, no worries about it. And we want to get your honest opinion. What do you think? They said that, are you crazy? Are we gonna take the jinn's children to play around in our house? What will be their future? They said, okay, I guess your daughter is also scared. So why don't we call Jinn's parents also? And they can sit here, you can sit there, she can sit here, and he can sit there, I can sit here, and they can sit here. The whole, like a conference to make this possible or impossible or neutral decisions. Now, they didn't intentionally to make it impossible. They said this is the only way we can find. If the girl is not ready, if girl says, no, I don't want, then he cannot do anything. He cannot. So they talk to the girl. Okay, talk to your Mr. Romeo. Tell him this is the time. Call your parents. And my parents wants to meet your parent. Now, girls' parents, they're also scared. For the first time in their life, they are gonna experience to meet a Jinn family. Now, girl was very beautiful. Now, this is a very exciting moment for the boy, Yusuf, the Jinn, 700 years old or 800 years old. He talked to his parents. Okay, please come and talk to her parents once. He said, okay, we go and we talk to your Juliet's parents. They came in the human faces, and Jinns are sitting here, Jinn's family, the parents, and girl's parents are sitting on the left. Mr. Yusuf, the Romeo, is sitting in the front, the Juliet is here, and the other are sitting side by side to make it possible and impossible on a neutral decision basis, whatever we call. Now, they said, okay, this is the case, this is a scenario. Your child wants to marry their child. What do you think? Now, they both parents, they were smiling to each other, but in their heart, they were on fire. They said, okay, we think this is very weird, and we don't see any very solid future, because we don't have so many examples that Jinn and humans, they create a family, and how would be their lifestyle the children will be like humans or they will be like jinns. We don't know, and we don't want this. This is so scary. We don't want to see so weird things are happening in the house. But we respect, due to all respect, we don't know what to do. The same thing happened. The Jinn's family, they said, we don't know what to do. Okay, now let's talk about the children. What do they want? Of course, the Jinn, the Yusuf, he said that, yes, I want to marry her. I spent the most difficult time of my entire life to learn about the mathematics and English language, which was a nightmare for me. It sucked all my blood, but I did it. You see, can you see? I got A++, and everybody knows this is she got it. He said, this is true. You are very intelligent. You are very smart, Jinn. Yeah, you did it. And this is not enough. Let's ask Jasmine. Jasmine said that, oh my God, what should I respond? Jasmine was so scared in her heart. If one yes from Jasmine could put her in the trouble that she has to face for the rest of her life. But she also knew in her heart he loved her very much and he will take care of her. And this was an opportunity for Jasmine to make her to do anything the way the girls they do. And she said, okay, give me some time. I don't think about it. And Yusuf was shaking. She said, and he couldn't talk at that moment. But then when they left, and then he talked to the girl, what are you doing? This was the best opportunity. They just dropped everything on us. This was in our hand, and this is still in our hand. She said, look, Yusuf, I know you love him very much, and I respect you very much. You don't love me, you just respect me. Yes, I know. I respect you because you sacrificed and you did that miracle. You did that thing which I couldn't do in my life. I still don't know how to speak English. I don't know how to do the mathematics. It's all, you did it. You are the best. Yes, I am the best, but then what is wrong? Why cannot we marry? Why we cannot have a family? I'm not fooling around with you. She said, okay, listen, I am scared if in the coming future, if you get angry, you can kill me instantly. Where would I go? And if our children, they will be humans or they will be the jinns. He said, if you love me, you don't have to care anything. Why you need to care about these small matters? She said, this is small matter for you because you love me. After some time, I'll get old and you'll be staying there for thousands of years. What would you do? This is not a good match. My age, maybe I will die after 20 years. Maybe I will die after, 50 years. Let's say I will die after 100 years. What then? You're staying here for 4,000 years. What would you do? I cannot stay with you, man. How this would be possible? You will be crying all the time for the rest of your life for thousands of years? And this is the moment he started to think, oh my God, I haven't thought about it. Even if our children, they will come in this world, if they are like humans, how many years they can live? The jinns, they live for thousands of years, and humans life average timeline is like 100. I never thought about this. And he started to think, now the girl is very clever, and she saw him thinking deeply to find a solution about this issue. He said, you know what? I love you. I really don't want to miss you. If you go first, who knows? We are talking about an average time slot of an individual lifetime. If we can live thousands of years, what if my time is written, tomorrow I'm going to die? If God is sending the angel to take my soul out, then what? It's the same thing. She said, no, this is not the same thing. You need to think about it. And I think this is not a good match for him. Now that was a moment Jinn was totally shattered. He was heartbroken. And he said, you truly broke my heart. I can never forgive myself. I will not harm you, but you have broken my heart. Okay, I leave you. And then they call upon those council. Before they appear, my uncles, my cousins, they used to do the exorcism. And because they were also scared that she will be possessed by this jinn. Maybe, worst case scenario, Both Yasmeen and Yusuf, they came. They called the whole council, the parents of all these two families. And he said, okay, Yasmeen already let me realize something which I didn't realize before. So I think, I'm sorry, I made a big mistake, and I think this is not a match, but I truly don't know what to do. I'm in love, and I think I will die without her. For now, I leave her, but please let me continue my studies. Maybe I will study more and I will realize, and it will give me more patience, and I will not cross the boundaries. Everybody was calmed down, and they realized, okay, he understood. Now the biggest challenge is coming. The twist is here. Nobody knew what this Mr. Romeo is thinking in his heart. Actually, he wanted to stay there, so he observe her. For 1 month, everything was normal. Everybody was happy. She was studying. She was happy, chilling with her friends and studying and everything. But this Yusuf, he was keep observing the day by day, the jealousy, the disappointment, and those elements was rising. Remember, jinns are created with the fire. So his anger and rage started to rise. And he started to keep as a challenge, no way, I'm not gonna let her go. I'm gonna get her no matter what. This is my mission of my life. I will die without her. So this is the point he started to, she started to get possessed by Yusuf, this jinn. When the people in the institute, the girls, the classmates, they started to discover they didn't say that she's possessed, but she is acting abnormal. Sometimes she's making a man's male voices, and she is acting really weird. Right away they knew something is wrong. This is terribly wrong, because everybody knew that something is going on in this institute, and she has become somebody's love, some jinns. Now this is the time after 1 month, and she started to have these episodes of the possession. She was possessed badly by this jinn. At the time, my cousins who used to do the exorcism, the practice of exorcism, they got Yasmeen. Actually, they got him because she was possessed. When somebody is possessed by the jinns, you grab them. Actually, you grab that jinn, and they scared the jinn. Said, if you're not gonna leave, we already giving you warning. Your parents, they know already that we are doing this to you. They have already given us all the control, all the permission we can do to teach you a lesson. If you are not gonna leave her, we're gonna break your arms, we're gonna break your legs, and we're gonna do those things to you. You will regret the rest of your life. And she is making male voices. No, I'm not gonna leave her. This is the same as the exorcism of Emily Rose. The same thing happened. So anyway, they tied her up, and my cousin, he started to recite the Quranic verses and slap her face, pow, 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 and he was crying, "Ow! Oh my God! Ah! Don't beat me!" And then finally he ran away. He ran away. He said that you humans, I hate you. This was my love, and I will never forgive myself. But later on, when he left her body, she was, of course, the after effect of those beating. She took time to heal up, but that was the end of the line. So this was the story for today. If you're a fan of the horror, mysterious crimes, horror movies, and thrills, please subscribe to our YouTube channel. And if you have your own stories and you want me to share on your behalf, you can send it to me to my Instagram, which is uzair.cipra. And as always, please take care of yourself, your surrounding. Until next time.